I'm talking with Howard Quayle, Chief Minister. Friday we've been called. It's not, we don't do a regular chat, but when we get the call, we have to obviously think it's something important. But if it's Brexit, we can't touch it because it's such a fast-moving development. Have you had any updates? I mean,
yeah, well, I had a cabinet minister trying to contact me last night, but I was at an event giving a speech, funny enough, on Brexit and where we saw it going. So I've got that phone call in the next few minutes. So for the latest thinking, but as you rightly say,
should we park it then?
Well, Super Saturday is going to be obviously key. It's too close to call whether the Prime Minister is going to get it over the line. It will depend on maybe whether the DUP will concede or maybe abstain. And if enough Labour MPs think Boris, the Prime Minister, has, I think 21 of the 26 that he sacked have confirmed they will be supporting the deal.
Depends which newspaper you read, I think.
It is. But equally, if Westminster throw it out and if the European Union say, no, this is the deal, you now take it or leave it, they haven't said that yet, I hasten to add. That's just been one person. But if they say that, then the pressure really will be on Westminster.
Well, if everyone hasn't switched off, let's move on. Because we'll come back to that next week.
Yeah.
You're obviously, I thought with Green Call days, you want to just crow about jets and things that were, everything was okay in the end. It's taken a long time to get to this decision, hasn't it? Though
this was 2 years ago. This was a media frenzy. So I naturally presume that you would be interested to discuss it.
But you're cleared. But we knew that, didn't you? From the word go, that's what you kept saying anyway.
Well,
so you should be thinking there's nothing to this.
Well, that's right, but an awful lot of people didn't accept that.
Yeah.
And were making some pretty horrendous allegations against the Isle of Man Customs and Excise Division and our aircraft registry.
Will Panorama now give you the equal airtime back, do you think?
What do you think? I won't be holding my breath, will you?
Well, have they made any retractions or updated the stories? Because these things hang around in Google searches forever, otherwise, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we'll have to take up. I'm advised that normally when you make a complaint, you've got 12 months to do it, but we've obviously had to wait for 2 years for the report. But I think when you read the report, Paul, it's so complex, this issue.
Why did it take 2 years?
Well, because the complexities of it. It's a phenomenally complex area, VAT on corporate jets.
And remind me, you invited the UK in, which is always, some people go, what are you doing, inviting another jurisdiction in?
We have a reciprocal agreement with VAT with the UK and therefore the European Union, and if you know you've got nothing to hide, my philosophy is come on in, have a look, show you the books. We've got nothing to hide.
Look at theirs then, do they?
Well, I'm not bothered about that. I knew that the Isle of Man had complied with the rules and regulations. I'd been given numerous assurances. I'd looked at it myself, and therefore I was more than confident that we had nothing to hide. So I was at the best policy is to let people come in and have a look and see for themselves. That's what happened. They've written a report which shows that we've complied with the rules and regulations of the UK and EU.
How much damage did it do?
Well, of course it damaged our reputation of our aircraft registry. Our aircraft registry is a success because they offer a damn good service and they do a lot of out-of-hours work.
But
and they have
damage was caused. Not just that, probably the ship registry, anything that...
Well, of course damage was caused.
How do you get that back, that reputation then?
Well, I think obviously the report is there, and we have shared the report and the letter we have received with...
You know, it's good news, and people don't want to trust in good news.
Well, I deal with you all the time, don't I?
Okay. That'll give us one of those ones. But seriously.
Yeah, joking.
How do you? Well, you can't answer that question because people hear things and it locks in their brain and boom,
I'll be writing. I have written already to members of Parliament that under the All-Party Parliamentary Group, for example, that look after the interests of the Isle of Man, and I've sent them obviously copies of the report and the letter we've achieved.
Very quickly. If the Labour government get in as it stands, if Corbyn is in, that's not good, is it? I mean, still not. He's not on your side at all, is he? I mean, normally Labour government can be quite interesting for the other man, but this one is definitely not what you want. We don't know what's happening, but that is a fact, is it not? You don't want Corbyn in.
Well, no, I remain neutral in politics, Paul. So I go to the Labour Party conference, I go to the Conservative Party conference. I met with Annalise Dodds from the Shadow Treasury, and they understood the importance of money flowing into the City of London. Labour will not be able to deliver on its policies if it's starved of cash.
Again, let's park that one. Let's talk about the prom, because I know you've got a quick phone call coming up. Promenade. Did you go last night to the big...
I was giving a speech to an organisation on Brexit last night at midnight.
I've done an interview with Chris Robertshaw this morning, following on from obviously Mr Harmer last night. I mean, clearly you can't be impressed what's going on, what's going to happen for people again, because this affects everyone. I mean, just people travelling into town. We understand people living on the prom and working the prom, and we've dealt with that many times, but you can't be happy with the way this is going.
Well, this is
you
the
do go on the prom, do you?
Of course,
in your
I
big
do.
Jag.
I go on. Yeah, I have a Jag. I never deny. I also have a little polo.
My turn's out of pop now.
That I'm in today. Yes.
Okay. See what's happened. No, but seriously, what do you think?
Well, first and foremost, we need to look at this is an enormous project. It's the biggest that will ever been undertaken on the Isle of Man from a redevelopment point of view. It was always going to cause problems. It's regrettable, and we need to improve up our game.
Great, we got regrettable out of you there.
Yeah.
I mean, I want some stronger stuff. You know, are you going to sort it out? Are you going to get involved, or the silo mentality, as Chris Robert Shaw brought out that old terminology again this morning, is what has caused this problem because no one's talking to anybody else.
Well, greater communications should always happen between the public and those that are carrying out the work.
Interdepartmental or intergovernment, surely.
Yeah, well,
you didn't say that. You mean that though, right?
The DOI minister has listened to the concerns that have been raised by people as to, for example, why is work happening on the land side outside hotels during part of the summer, and some of the seaside work is being done in the winter. And you think, well, it does seem quite logical not to have done that. Why is that? And there may well have been reasons that it was easier to do that because of some of where the pipe works are, because there's a labyrinth of pipe work, whether it be gas, foul, surface, electricity, etc. But they've agreed to alter their schedule to alter that so that you now have that work that was going to be done in the summer outside the hotels, where possible, moved to the seaside.
Whose idea to bring Mr. Baker in to sort of now be the face of this whole thing? Is that yours or just interdepartmental government thing?
It's an interdepartmental decision. Obviously, my department is now helping with extra resources for a media communication side of things, so we can let the public know this is what's happening
Still
this week.
went to see into a hole, by the way. Looking over there for the communications department, who promised me we were going to have more access, but it's coming. It's coming. I think it's important to people see what is, because there are things under there which weren't expected, were they?
Well, that's right. And pipes that, because everything is so tight next to one another, that when you find a pipe that's not where you expect it, you've got to stop and rejig the whole event. But I had the honour of going to an RNLI event last week where the Cox was retiring after 40-something years, a phenomenal service. And I was speaking to a senior member of the RNLI who said he'd been in his library lounge and he'd seen a book just sticking out, a Manx book, and he opened it. And the page he opened it was 1870-something, and the people of the Isle of Man were bitterly complaining about the delays in building the promenade and the mess.
So much quickly to do. The floods in Laxey, you turned up, you sort of presidential sort of thing.
Well, it wasn't presidential.
In your Jag. But anyway, no, but seriously, I mean, is £500 enough for people?
No, but if you get flooded in normal circumstances, we haven't historically given any money to people. We've expected the insurance to sort this out. This was a major incident in Laxey. We looked around to see what quickly could we do. I mean, I knew I was always going to get slated for just offering £500, but we cannot set a precedent here. We've got an independent review that is looking into it.
Have you given £500 for other things, have you then? Is that why the figure comes from? So you have set a precedent?
We've looked at what our adjacent Isle jurisdiction has done. We've set a precedent for the Isle of Man that in an event like this, if it ever happens again, there is £500.
I hear some of those houses probably won't be getting insurance again. How are you going to deal with that? There could be a class action against you. If they all get together, all those houses get together and take on the government. It's going to be very messy, isn't it?
Well, first and foremost, we need to see what the independent review finds. But equally, I think working with the insurance companies, if we say, look, we have built the wall that was there was just a road wall that was there to keep cars from going into the river, not the water coming onto the road. We've started straight away building a 3-metre high reinforced concrete
Can you
wall.
imagine those people who can't get insurance? Probably unsellable.
And this is what we genuinely need to look at, Paul. But I think let's have the review first and foremost to see what really went wrong. Everyone thinks they know what went wrong, but let's have an independent person tell us that, and then we can say, right, well, speaking to the insurance companies, we've now built this wall. We've put these procedures in place to reduce the likelihood of this happening again. Okay. Will you now revisit your policies in insuring these houses?
Very positive. To finish with, I don't know if you saw my interview with a man halfway up the top of North Barrule. He's made this 3 legs of man. He needs planning permission with paint to make it white so people can see it. Are you for him? Do you even know the story?
I don't know the story.
Do you think he should though? I mean, I don't know if you don't know the story, it's difficult then.
I don't know the story, but
he's made a beautiful 3 legs man, but he needs planning permission to make it white.
Well, if it's
Do you want to look into it?
if it's, I'll look into it. But
Yeah.
if it's a permanent thing,
Yeah.
then I think you can't just go around because doing this sort of thing. I mean, I've done something like this when I was president of the Farmers Union.
You did.
We did that with mowers.
Make it Manx or buy Manx.
I love Manx.
I love Manx.
But that
Lawnmowers.
grew out. After a short period of time. If this is I think that's the difference. If this is a permanent structure, then we need to. I think it does need permission.
And before you go, anything you want to say about anything, any other subjects that I haven't raised there, because I know you're busy. Anything that we should know about? There you go. That's a good question.
Well,
anything we should know about?
Well, it's business as usual. This administration is working hard. I mean, the number of bills that we're taking forward, 33 bills. And
I saw something, eGaming and all the cutbacks and changes and the stars and being bought and Are you worried?
It's just realignment of an industry. I know for a fact that there's one company that will be bringing over an additional 50 jobs in the near future to the Isle of Man.
But we've lost quite a few, I guess.
And we've lost a similar number. So it's still growing on the Isle of Man. The industry.
We should have confidence.
We should have confidence.